Good morning, everybody, to another edition of Summa Social Elite, hosted by Donna Newman. So as this new year has begun, what we did last week, we started the 2013 and we kicked it off with a bang, simply to ensure that you get some action behind your new year goals. So to that end, and to really march you through these next couple of weeks so that you maintain your steam, today's topic is the second in our 5-part series. It's 5 smart New Year's resolutions for social media. And that is from concept to action. Literally, when you return to work, you have a tangible idea that you can actually put to work for some definite outcome. So here we go is kind of a recap to those 5 SMART goals. As you remember from last week, we talked about specific. The S is for specific because you want more specific targeted traffic coming to all of your social media sites, your traffic, and those are people that you convert into your happy customers. Today's topic is measurable. That's the M of SMART, because social media, or probably marketing in general, can be too soft, and it's always about a leprechaun, or it's about a unicorn. It's nebulous, and so today we want to wrap our hands around tangible outcomes that you can achieve. The third one is achievable, and you want to make sure that you have an achievable plan so that it's not a pie in the sky. R is for relevant, because every time that people are going to the internet, that tipping point for them making the decision to use your product or service is a peer influence. And we'll show you that in weeks ahead, what that means for social media. And then finally, we have to bracket what we're doing and time bound it. And successful time management really fuels the success for all of our marketing endeavors. But today we're going to be speaking about M, the measurable. So I'm going to give you 3 steps to relieve you of the leprechaun syndrome and the wishing and the hoping. This way, once you've implemented your tactic, you've got specific action items to hold it accountable, as well as you can delegate these accountability measures. So this is one of my favorite social media cartoonists, because I can remember many a times over my last 20 years when we'd be sitting in a boardroom and we would be scratching our head, and it would be exactly what this gentleman at the top is saying. Why do you get that look every time we ask about the ROI? Because it's so true. Social media really generates that, oh, I hope it's going to work. I'm hopeful, I'm wishful. So we want to give you a little bit more of a tangibility so that you can help determine the outcome of what you're doing on social media. So first, we're going to look at ROI starting with a simple setup. And here is 4 simple steps that I want you to do to help set yourself apart from all of your peers in general, and then specifically your competition. This is where you're going to be fueling the internet with your specific content. Remember, when we look at social media in general, people are going first to the internet to actually search your product, search your service, or search your field of expertise. With that being said, what fuels the search engines is content. And if you actually are the wordsmith behind the content, you can allow your content specifically and your specific products, services to rise up higher in the search engines and hopefully get to page 1. So we dial back a little bit and I give you these simple steps so that you can begin to influence the outcome, the measurability. And that first one is on your Facebook page. I want you to go ahead and take the opportunity both on your personal profile and on your business page to write in the About section. It is a perfect icebreaker with content. It is a perfect elevator pitch. It is the who, what, when, where, why of what your business is or about who you are. It is your value proposition. It is, if you use me, Here is your likely outcome. And it's also content about what you do, and that content is scrubbed by the search engines, namely Google, namely Bing. Pretty important. So when you go ahead and put your content up there, make sure that you're putting your URL to your website. Make sure that you're putting any other valuable links like to your YouTube, to your LinkedIn, to your blog that is critical. And make sure that you put your content in there, your contact information, email, office phone number, if you don't mind giving out your direct phone number. And then be sure, and when you put the content, focus on what are the keywords that people are searching for you for, and also the keywords that you want to be known for. That will help fuel the specific content as it is pulled up in the search engines. Then there is, in the additional about section, there are areas that you can provide your additional links. And that is, now you're not just allowing Facebook to operate like an island, but you're allowing this entire social media grid to be overlapping and intersecting with each other. So you have your Twitter, your Pinterest, your LinkedIn. If you have G+, you can also add your e-properties if you're a realtor, and any other additional valuable links. Cover photo is a no-brainer. This is the power of the first impression. And the reason why photography is so important is the reason why Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook have been so popular in the first place, is that people are now reading by images and second, reading by words. The old saying that a photograph is worth 1,000 words is so true here. So whatever that power of the first impression you can give your cover photo, as well as then that little square in the bottom left-hand corner, that is your profile pic. And that profile pic is instrumental because it is the one image that follows you everywhere you go on Facebook. And as you use Facebook to log into Pinterest, to interact with a blog, to transfer information over to your Twitter and your LinkedIn. And so that profile pic is pretty important. Whether you want it to be casual or professional, allow the image in there to definitely be approachable. And then finally, we look at the cover photo description. And this is a huge oversight that people make. Once you have uploaded your cover photo, that photo will save in your photo album. And in the photo album, click and access this photo, and then go ahead and give a title and a description to it. This is where you can have a call to action. This is where you want to put your elevator pitch or your value proposition, 1 or 2 sentences, keywords important. Have a call to action, because most people numbly read things and they just need a little shove. A professional shove about what to do in order to follow up with that value proposition that you are promising them. And then also give links. Here is a link to how you can stay in touch with me. Maybe it's a blog, maybe it's a call to action for a free ebook, a webinar to join. Maybe it is your free general search for all of the Maricopa County listed homes for sale. But now you guys get the system. So the ROI starts with a simple setup with these 4 steps. And after you have that, then on your business page, you're going to need to have content. But in order to have content, you have to have a clear objective. What do you do? What do you do better than anybody else? And what do you do better than anybody else that has a tangible outcome? And so once you understand that clear objective, you can then put content together. Now, as probably a lot of you are using, we have 18 industry libraries, and that is content that we've gone ahead and written for you. It is a little bit more timeless, and sometimes it's general, but it's engaging content that could be trivia, it could be general topics, and it also could be breaking news within your industry. And that is just an opportunity for you to either load it up and have consistent content going out every single day so that you are staying in the news feed, kind of that Facebook email drip campaign comparison with all of your fans. Or you can go in there and customize the libraries where you can put in your own keywords. You can then schedule those individual library posts. And then finally, the third option for content is to create your own weekly calendar. And this is where I highly recommend just opening up an Excel spreadsheet. And just like we've done here, you go ahead and just put across the top Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and put a specific theme for each day. And then once you have the days that you're going to post, and again, you do not have to post every day. Start off with 2 or 3 times a week. Again, we want this to be achievable so that you can measure some outcome and engagement. But get your weekly calendar, put your themes together, and then know that the best times are here. First, let's talk about days. The weekends are always pretty good to catch people on because that's when they're giving social media a little bit more time a day. And obviously, they're not at the office, where when I work with a lot of legal counselors, financial counselors, lawyers, they cannot access their Facebook, and rarely can they access some areas of LinkedIn. But it is a rare moment they can access Facebook. So oftentimes it's either in the evenings or they're on the weekends. That's why it's so popular. And then Monday is a good day. Tuesday's good. Thursday is a very engaging day. And I recommend, from my own experience and from the feedback I get from clients, is that Saturday and Sunday is always good about 7:30. And then before the business day starts, it could be right at 8 o'clock. Or if you're finding that a lot of your clients, and you know your clients best, are getting up early, the first thing they do is check their social media with their cup of coffee, then post it about 6:45. And a general rule too is in the evening, if you're going to be posting anytime after 6, because that's when the bandwidth or the search engine of Facebook is going to be less likely to be used, so your content will linger a little bit longer in people's news feeds. So let's just kind of throw out some ideas here. One of our team, as you've probably seen from our post this week, our team was featured in Entrepreneur Magazine, and we had put together a clear objective of what entrepreneurs in general across every small business industry would have as a good idea for posting. So when Entrepreneur Magazine asked us, this is what we put together. Monday, and I'm going to give you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These are just general themes, but if you were to put them to a calendar day, this would be a very good engagement process. So Mentor Monday is when you're going to load up a video, and a video, as you know, it's good for engagement. People love to watch versus read. Also, the beautiful thing about the video is it's not just a once and done. It is your 24/7 virtual educator. So you don't have to say the same things over and over again. You can post this live to your YouTube, post it live to your Facebook video folder, and then it will post live to your Facebook wall, but it will archive within your video folder. So anytime in the future, if you've got a listed property and you're a realtor, you can actually have that URL to that specific video as an opportunity to send it in an email to a prospective client, put it in an email campaign. Videos here could be testimonials. They can also be educational about your product. And when you're talking about how to use your product or what are additional creative ways to use your product, how can you best utilize you if you're a service provider, which would be maybe a coach or a consultant. Trivia Tuesday. Fans love to be able to share their opinions, and that's why trivia is so important. Whenever you can come up with kind of pithy, conversational, fun trivia, always add a photograph, and this is where people want to share their opinion. So you're going to get a lot of likes, you're going to get a lot of comments. Wednesday, when you have a chance, like one of my recent clients, she actually was running in the P.F. Chang's marathon just over the weekend. And she decided that she was going to go ahead and publicize to all of her fans that her office was going to be doing this as a team. And then they, in turn, were raising money to go to one of their local charities that is a nice offshoot off of their dental team. So that's a great way for your community, your Facebook fan community, to be able to see that you're not just about business, you have philanthropic endeavors, and you're really adding value to the community, but in a fun way. Thankful Thursday, if there's ever an opportunity, now you don't have to do this every Thursday, but if there's ever an opportunity to offer an incentive to promote your business for a percentage off, or buy one, get one free, or today you're giving free access to your search for listed homes, or if there's a new listing and you wanted to go ahead and play up those benefits of that new listing. Maybe it's a multi-million dollar home that actually in our down market is now only listed at 200,000, whatever that is, and it has all the newest, finest appliances. This is where you can play up the strength of what you're just doing, a brand new event, an incentive or promotion, and this gets people excited. And then finally, an additional idea is to feature and reward your star fans. People love to be talked about in a very genuine way. So here's where you can focus maybe one of the fans who's actually been the most engaged. Maybe you can go ahead and focus one of the children from your fans. For example, we had a client out in Anthem, and she had a fan whose daughter won a blue ribbon for a horse contest. So then this wonderful client of mine had actually posted that, and it turns out that she was able to bring a lot more eyeballs to her fan page, a lot more likes, a lot more comments, because of course the whole family wanted to see that blue ribbon photograph. And the nice thing is, this is where measurability comes in, is that she was able to not only get additional fans to stay in touch with that are very similar personality to her fan and her client, but more importantly, she was able to get one additional family member as a new client off of that post because of that post. So don't always think of a straight line. How am I going to get more fans, or how am I going to get more customers based upon what you're posting? But know that whatever the intent of that audience is, if they want to build relationships, if sometimes they're in the market to buy and sell your product, sometimes they're just wanting to have good general conversation. Create a relationship, because eventually with a good relationship that will tip over to utilizing your service, recommending your service, being one of your raving referrals. So these are 5 contents that have been very successful and very well received, as was noted in our Entrepreneur magazine article. And then I want you to look at an ad. Here is ROI, that we're moving from a tactic of the how, and we're doing it with a promoted post. So you have timing, you know exactly when to post and time, and we've given you a couple of themes. So now what we want you to be able to do is to take advantage of having engagement on your wall and seeking out and choosing one of those specific wall posts that you found got a little bit of engagement, maybe got some comments, but more importantly is content that you think everybody could benefit from seeing. Now, as you know, there is a smaller and smaller percentage of fans that are seeing your posts, especially when you're not consistent. And then when your fans are not interested in your posts, they're not engaging with your content. So in order to get more of your fan base looking at your content and not missing your posts, you have the opportunity to create one of the tiers of advertising on Facebook, and that's called a promoted post. Here you can actually choose a post that was on your wall, and when you see this yellow button, you can click, and then it will bring you into an opportunity where you can choose like $5, $10, $15, and on up. But for $5 to $15, now you have an opportunity, because it's cheap, to target your fans, all fans, and the friends of those fans. And as you know, that kind of old saying, birds of a feather flock together. Well, it turns out that people who are the friends of your fans are more than likely going to be a pretty good prospective client for you to work with. So when you have a promoted post, you now are paying a very small fee to be able to advertise this exact content to your fans, your entire fan base, and your friends of your fans. The added value of that is that now, if I were to post this today, and today is Thursday, And let's say a lot of my fans didn't get on Thursday. They didn't take advantage of that viral ability that Facebook says a lot of people are engaging on Facebook on Thursday evenings. But they were too busy Thursday, Friday, and they got on Saturday. Well, my promoted post would actually post in their news feed the moment they log in, and it would go to the top. This way, as I'm running an advertisement and they're not on, they're not missing me. So it is rising to the top of their news feed, which is the first place they go when they log into Facebook, and they have a chance to be able to see my powerful title, Will Get Facebook Marketing Working for You. They're going to see my description, what I'm offering, and then they're going to see a link. And then I'm giving them the value. It's worth your time. And then I'm tagging myself. So if you were to follow my exact example here, one of the things that I did, I created a video. I loaded my video into the video folder of my Facebook fan page. And then I put a powerful title, less than 70 characters. I told them exactly what I'm offering. I gave the value proposition of what they would receive if they participated. I gave a link to where I wanted them to register. And then I said, sealing the deal, this is every bit worth your time. So that particular video stamped on the wall of my Facebook page. I then, after a day or two of it running, and you only have a couple of days before you can choose a post to promote it, I chose to promote it. And at that point, it had 80 likes, it had 9 comments, and 15 shares. So I actually had a lot of my fans sharing my content because it could benefit their end user, which was kind of cool. So this is an opportunity where you can legitimately measure an outcome with more likes, more comments, shares, of course, but you're going to get more likes to your fan page. You're going to get more targeted fans coming in and seeing your exact promotion, your exact value proposition, your exact, maybe it's a humor post, maybe it's we just made a new listing, maybe it is a brand new event you want them to join. Maybe it's an award that you won. But this way, it is inexpensive. You're not only reaching your fans, but you're reaching your friends of fans. And then, no matter if they've been off Facebook for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, the moment they log in, your post, your promoted post, is rising to the news feed so they don't miss it. And that is very important. So here, guys, when you put together your 5 SMART New Year's resolutions, remember, we're looking at specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And today, with it being measurable, we want you to do those 4 steps for the simple setup for Facebook. And number 2, we want you to create engaging content. Maybe that is setting up the library inside of the Summa Social dashboard. Maybe it is modifying and editing some of that content to make it your own with your own keywords. Or maybe it is once or twice a week putting in something special that has your photograph on it, has your name in it, your business name in it, your keywords in it. And this way, that single post is something that can be stamped on the wall of a news feed, on the wall of a search engine, and that single post itself could be the content that rises up on the first page, getting you guys found, getting you more business. And then third, that promoted post is such a simple, inexpensive way to not only reach your fan base, we're talking warm market here, but it's also an opportunity for you to reach that next sphere out, which is all the friends of your fan base. If your fans are pretty happy, then those friends are going to be equally happy with the service that you've delivered. So this is where I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to ask some questions, and I did have some inside here relative to, okay, now if you have any questions, just kind of a housekeeping note is inside of the go to meeting, you can actually put your questions inside of the box. And one question was, in reference to measurability and in reference to that promoted post. They wanted to know how long does that promoted post run and what would be kind of an outcome. Well, let me give you an example. When we ran that promoted post that I showed you, we ran it for about 4 days. We spent $50 and we got 6 clients, and the clients each bought at the $500 level. So we are talking $3,000. So for us, the 5 days, the $50, and us coming in with the 6 clients and then coming in at the $500, that was important to us. And that was an incredible investment of time and of talent to be able to get that measurable return. So figure out kind of an idea of what you're going in with, what are your hard costs going in with, and what would it be, what do you have to meet to make it at least a break even. And then beyond that, you can measure how many people saw it, how many people clicked on it, how many people clicked through it, how many more likes you have, and how many people did you have a chance to follow up on relative to your call to action proposition. And let's see, there's one more question in reference to posting and posting content. So one of the people here is asking exactly what should I post that is specific to my community. When you are posting a pitch approach every single time, you are always giving people either what they want, but that's not always when they need it, or you are continually screaming at them in a single direction. So let me give you an example. We were at senior night at my daughter's basketball game, and my parents-in-law are sitting in the front row. And it turns out that my daughter, who was opposing her competitor, was screaming at her, jumping up and down on an inbound pass. Well, that actually unnerved my mother-in-law, who turned to my father-in-law and she said, "Charlie, why is Ellie screaming at that girl?" And he so calmly turns to her and said, "Bonnie, it's because she's making her nervous." And Bonnie said, "Charlie, she's making me nervous. Stop screaming, Ellie." Well, it turned out that Ellie heard her, but Ellie didn't stop screaming because Ellie wanted to make this young girl nervous as she was passing the ball inbound. So as this client on this webinar is asked, whenever you are continually pitching, here's my listing for a brand new home, here's my product, buy it. Today's special is, we're awesome, we're the best. You're continually screaming at your client. And as you know from Bonnie's experience, that's pretty uncomfortable. So you need to be able to take intentional time when you're going to be posting up something that's funny, but maybe relative to your industry. Maybe you're going to be promoting another person within your team and talking about maybe a new accreditation that she's gotten, which then implies that you are always at the top of your game for changes in the economy. Maybe it's a brand new feature that you've added to your service or your specific product, and then show how that actually helps the outcome of your client wanting to utilize your service. And sometimes talk about testimonials. That would be great if you have video testimonials from your clients or written ones that you can load up with a picture. Whenever you are friends of clients, if you can tag them in the video or tag them in the picture, it just grows your sphere of influence and takes the spotlight off of you. Because when you take the spotlight off you and you put it on your end user, maybe it's a prospective client, maybe it's a past client of many years ago, maybe it's one of your colleagues, you've got an opportunity through that third-party validation to be able to show your own personal expertise, and then somebody else also wants to be able to somehow return the favor. So if we don't have any more questions, it looks like we're not, feel free to go ahead and just come to summasocial.com and go ahead and fill in your questions there. Or inside of the group, inside of Summa Social Elite, you can specifically showcase any questions. You can give me a call and I would be happy to help you. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for participating. Really appreciate you, and have a wonderful day. And make sure that all of your intentions this week now are measurable, specific and also measurable, because then it will be well worth it and you can delegate your tasks and then have an accountability for your team. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.